Good morning, class. So today we are doing science lesson 6, and I'm calling it wasting water. The main focus for today is we're going to be talking about conserving water. That means saving as much water as we can and not wasting it. I'm going to start off with a really fun video. Here we go.
Thanks again for inviting me for a sleepover tonight, Peter.
I love sleepovers. Chris, you should always shut off the water when you're not using it.
But how will I brush my teeth without water?
All you need is just enough to get your toothbrush wet, like this.
Why do I need to do that? There's water everywhere. In oceans, and lakes, and streams, and even when it rains.
Well, you're right, but not all that water is safe for us to drink. Here, imagine this. If you took all the water in the entire world and put it in one big pool, it would look like this.
See, I told you that's a lot of water.
It might look like a lot, but of all that water, only a tiny bit is safe for us to drink and use every day.
Oh, that's not very much at all.
No, it's not. That's why we have to be smart about how we use it.
Wow, you're right, Peter. I didn't think of that.
It's always smart to save water.
Where else can we save water?
Well, we can save water by taking a short shower instead of a bath, and by sweeping up dirt outside instead of using a hose. And I always tell my dad when I find a faucet that's dripping so he can fix it. Dripping faucets waste a lot of water.
Oh, I know! Like using a bucket to wash your dad's car instead of using a hose.
That's right.
And when I help my mom do laundry, we can make sure to always wash full loads instead of washing just a few things at a time.
Those are great ideas, Chris.
Wow, I had no idea there were so many ways to save water. You know, Peter, all this talk about water reminds me of a funny joke. What did the ocean say to the shore?
I don't know.
Nothing! It just waved!
That was a good one, Chris.
All right. So I hope that made you think a little bit more about your water consumption. That means the water that you're using. All right. So our next thing we're going to look at is our worksheet. And it is titled Wasting Water. And number 1 says to form a hypothesis. So what is a hypothesis? We have talked about it before in class. But just to review, a hypothesis is an educated guess based on what you already know, maybe from experience, from what you've read, what you've seen. So it's not just guessing randomly, it's guessing based on what you know and what you feel is the right answer. All right, so this is a milk carton, and if you have one in your fridge, it's usually worth about 1 L or 1 liter. This is a way to measure liquids. This is kind of an orange jug, and it's about 1.5 liters, okay, or 1.5 L. So, oops. All right, there we go. Sorry. How much water do you think you use in a day? Take a guess, like 50, 100, 1,000 liters, any number you like. Record your prediction here in liters. So maybe I use 2,500 liters or 2,500. I don't know. That's just a guess I'm coming up with. I want you to come up with your own. Maybe you use nothing. Maybe you use more than nothing. Your next job, number 2, write down each activity in which you use water during the day in the box below. So the first thing I do when I wake up is I go to the bathroom. I pee. It's something I do after sleeping all night, and then I flush the toilet. So the first thing I do in the morning is I flush the toilet, right? Then, I'm just going to hit enter, and then that will give me another bullet point just in case you're unsure. The next thing I do is I brush my teeth. Brush my teeth. That also uses water. Third thing I do is I go and make my breakfast. Sometimes I have water with my breakfast, sometimes I don't. So drink a glass of water. After that, what do I do? Oh, I wash my dishes. So a lot of the time I eat cereal for breakfast. And after I do that, I wash my dishes. I don't have a dishwasher, so I wash them by hand. Maybe sometimes your family does a dishwasher run in the morning. Maybe they do it at night. Not sure. After that, it depends on my day. I'll probably drink some more water throughout the day. Drink about, or it says a glass of water. I'm actually going to go up. I'm going to put drinks about 5 glasses of water. That would be throughout the whole day. Unless I'm exercising, then it might be a bit more. Sometimes I water my plants. These are just some ideas of things I do. I'm not going to give you all my ideas. You're welcome to use them. They might be the same thing that you do. I want you to come up with a few, perhaps maybe about at least 6 things that you do that involve water. If you can think of 6, I'm just going to leave a 6 here just so you know what that means. You can have more than 6, you can have less than 6. I just want you to kind of think about your day and how often you use water. Try to think of from when you wake up in the morning until you go to bed at night. All right, now number 3, use this chart to see how much water each activity uses. So activity, and this is kind of the average use. We can't say how long everyone showers, for instance, because it might be different. But this is just average. So showering uses about 95 liters of water. Bathing, like taking a bath, uses 150 liters. So bathing uses a lot more water. It may seem like you're using less because it's not running when you're using it, but bathing usually uses a lot more. All right, brushing your teeth is about 18 liters of water. Wow. Washing your hands is about 8 liters. Dishwasher, 60 liters. Washing your clothes in the washing machine, about 220 liters. Flushing the toilet, about 3.5 liters of water. So what I want you to do is I want you to take the items that you wrote down in number 2, and you're going to find out how much they use. So my first one was flushing the toilet. So I'm going to go flushing and go 3.5. And I can add my plus sign here. And I could think about, I wonder, and if you're unsure of how much, you can actually Google it. If I was to think of washing dishes, how much water do I use when I wash dishes? Liters. Washing dishes uses about 63 liters, 3.5 sink loads per week. So it's about 20 liters for a full batch of dishes. If you're to wash something, maybe I'll say about 15 liters of water for washing breakfast dishes. I'll say about 20 liters. This is about average. It's not really like a big amount, and it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just kind of coming up with an estimate. All right, if we are to think about brushing teeth, 18 liters. Brushing teeth, 18 liters. So you go through each one, and then at the end, you can add them all together. You can go 3.5 plus 20 plus 18, and then you just keep going on, and then you add them. If you would like to do them by hand, you can. There's also on computers, there's a calculator. So you're welcome to grab a calculator if you'd like, because there are a lot of big numbers, and you can add 3.5 plus 20 plus 18. And this is only 41 liters, and there's a lot more that I do in a day. So I'm not going to put them all down. But to how to do that, you can go to the search bar here. You type in the word calculator, and it comes up, and you click on it. That's how you do that. All right. So I'm just going to erase my stuff because your stuff might be different. Everyone's routine is completely different. Make sure I don't leave anything else here. So number 4, compare your results with the prediction. Is it the same? Way more, way less? Tell me. So you're going to look at the numbers in number 4. You're going to look at your number in number 1. And you're going to say, are the numbers the same? Are they different? How are they the same? How are they different? And this one, number 6, is a thinking question. It's how can you use less water? So maybe think of something on your list that uses a lot of water. And you can think of a way that you don't use as much water, because there isn't a lot of fresh water on Earth, and there are a lot of people. So we want to make sure that we are doing the best that we can individually as a person to help out with that, help out our environment by using less fresh water. All right, I'm really excited to see what you have here. So number 2 is fill in the worksheet. And step 3 is an extra activity. Read a water book on A to Z. So if you were to actually go to the A to Z books here and you were to log in, you can actually type in water. And there's actually a bunch of books about water. So you might want to pick one and give it a go if it's around your level. If not, there's other books on YouTube as well about water. Water read aloud. Google and type out a water read aloud. And there's lots of books on here about water. So if you want to have one of those, that's just something extra you can do at the end. Let me know how it goes. And if you have any questions, let me know. Good work, boys and girls. Good luck. Can't wait to read what you come up with.